Hello. Hopefully this is working. Running a little bit late, but I think maybe we're all set. All right, cool. So, welcome to the very super boring Bob test the same thing over and over and over and over again stream like I did the first time. But we actually got some really, really good results the first time. So, what I'd like to do this time is kind of continue on that. And the very first thing I wanted to do was use this Samsung combo player here. Thank you, GH5 autofocus, for never ever working. And kind of test to see how that works versus the other one. Now, we're going to use a different part of the tape because we played the same thing over and over last time. It's that same The Year in Sports tape as we did. I just want to make sure that that we just get apples to apples comparisons, because if we use that same exact part of the tape, it's going to be worn through quite a bit more. Also, I just realized I need to plug. Okay, I have another idea here as well. So, grab composite cable. Good to go for test number 1. The other thing I'd like to do is test to see if any of the other video cards I have or capture cards can do 480i over HDMI, because that's one of the things that I couldn't figure out what was going on last time. And it turns out that the reason we were getting so many 480p recordings is just very simply because the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K can't accept 480i. But rather than just have that card crash when it does, AverMedia kind of smartly just had it deinterlace all 480i. So cool for gaming purposes and streaming, really crappy for archiving anything. So it's we'll plug this into here. I guess the easiest way to show all of you what I'm doing is both doing it this way and desktop capture. That'll probably be the least likely way we'll crash the stream, although I'm sure I'll still crash this at least once. However, thanks to the stream professor, Epos Fox, I now know how to reconnect without kicking everybody off. You would just have to hang out here while it all failed. So, afternoon, OmniSlash. On the floor by accident. Ugh. Yeah. A Pask, Tej, Koala, what's going on? Yeah, TMS, I'm going way deeper than that. way, way, way deeper. No disrespect, just being honest. Yeah, sure. I never intend to overlap with Steve. Steve's freaking awesome, and I never want to, but I have a very limited window in which I could do any of this stuff. So I have to just stream when I stream. I hate that I'm overlapping with my friend, but you know, it is what it is. So I guess while I was switching between both, one on the left speaker, one on the right. That's funny. That's very, very funny. If I had to bet, I would say Steve's stream is going to be far more entertaining than this one. Saying, what's up, Apocalyptic Minister? Yeah, Tish. With all respect, so all of the questions that you have, please keep them coming. I will answer them all. But answers like, what about trying an old card or just use Composite Direct? This is so far beyond all of that. This is what is the best method of composite? What about time-based correction? What about ease of use? What about capture cards that could support it? This is a very far distance past anything else. So no disrespect at all. Keep the questions coming by all means. But it is definitely this is going to be a deep one here. All right, so let me do a screen capture. TMS, I have a Doomsday Duplicator here now, finally, so I might actually do that if there's enough time. I don't want this to be a 9-hour stream, so we'll see what we could do. But yeah, basically. Okay, so let me, I'm going to minimize this just so there's less crap on everybody's screen here. So this is a DataPath Vision capture card that can handle S-Video and composite. Right now, because it can handle S-Video and composite, I'm hoping that it could also handle um, 480i over HDMI. So right now you can see we're using the Tink, and we're also using it in 1080p mode. So let me just go in. I think we have to go into HDMI and frame lock, I believe. Where is that extra setting? Oh, OSD. I think that was it. OSD Advanced Resolution. Yes. Okay. Output resolution 480i. See if this even works. Okay. What do we see here then? Input settings 1440 by 480 at 2997. Interesting. Okay. Let me check the. Excuse me. This is the Tink 5X, both because I want you all to see what you could do right now with something you might already own, but also because the time-based correction hasn't been ported to the Tink 4K yet. Simple. I'd be making a guide. Yeah, at the very least, it'll be a post with general information. Because the last time, and remember, we're not even halfway done, but the last time we kind of came to the conclusion that the dual player that I got sucked, and using a standalone DVD recorder was actually pretty good. That's with the that's with the test of 4. So we're certainly going to have a lot more stuff to test here as well. All right, so resolution, we're at 480i, scaling, cropping, we're not doing any of that. Yep. Pass through. Here we go. Okay. So everything's set to pass through. Let's see. Trying to find that time-based correction. Mike added. All right. So that's all set here. So we're gonna be testing. I'll use this as a menu system now, but we won't be testing capture just yet because I just want to use this as basically I want to use this dual player to record to itself first, so that I could figure out, or because it's gonna take a while to for it to finalize like it usually does. So let's see. Hopefully, I have my big stack of DVDs here. Yep. So I guess the first thing is let's see if this thing accepts DVD-R. And I've never used this player before, by the way. I found somebody in Facebook Marketplace selling this like 2 days after I did the live stream. And I was like, yeah, all right, well, I should be streaming again this week, so I'll pick it up. And that was months and months ago. So I barely even know it works. The only thing I know is that the HDMI output on this has very inconsistent HDCP. So even hooking it up through an HDCP stripper, you can't really get it to work, which is why we're doing composite out to get this stuff to work right now. Well, I go into cleanup software. No, that is a completely different thing. That is after we get a good capture, then we're going to work on 480i. But the thing that I like most about this method, specifically, is that if you have as solid of a 480i capture as you can, anything else doesn't matter. You could set it through one of those, um, AI based upscaling now, and then if it gets better someday, figure it out. So yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's hit play. Stop. So okay, so I pressed the dubbing button and I pressed VCR and it spit it out. So that means I'm supposed to press the DVD button. Stop. Press dub. I don't understand what's happening. Is it playing? I think it's just playing. Did I screw this up already? That'd be pretty funny. Wish I knew how to work this thing. So I think we should use the Dodge commercial if I don't screw it up. But let me keep rewinding. All right, perfect. So we have that. You just try to figure out how to. All right, easy record mode. This is the type of stuff I'm looking for. Ease of use. So easy record mode. Press on to confirm easy record. Let's see. Resolute. It probably isn't the correct aspect ratio going into the Tink, but right now we're just using the Tink to preview the menu. So good call. But in fact, let's go into the menu and just double check stuff. So simple dubbing. Oh yeah, that's right. This has a DV port, doesn't it? Check in the back. This might have some extra options too for yeah, this has a digital video import. So no matter what, this is going, even if it's just as okay as the last combo unit, this thing is going to be worth a pretty penny at least because of all the options. HDMI out for preview and just watching on TV, dubbing for recording like this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this pickup here. The disc setting will probably be after we do it. Hopefully, though, this will actually be compatible with DVD. It says DVD plus minus R, and I can't imagine a player from the 2000s wouldn't be. So, all right. All right, so let me just try. I'll hit it on the remote now. Record to DVD. All right, now I just hit a second time to hit record. Well, learning something new every day here. So we're going to do the entire Dodge commercial and see what happens next. PMS, that's absolutely not true. I thought that as well myself. But all commercial tapes are recorded with Luma and Chroma separate. Look this up on Wikipedia as well. I had the same misinformation for a long, long, long time. Okay, so maybe we hit stop. And now how do we finalize that disc? So disc settings, dubbing. So how do we finalize here? Well, this is odd. Or did I somehow screw up and it didn't record? That was what we used last time. We're setting. I'm not pressing all this, by the way. When I hit the 2 DVD button, it does all this pause, rewind, whatever, and now it's saying record. It'd be very funny if if I just couldn't even figure out how to get it to record at all on this thing. Maybe I should call out. It's a DVD-VR375, Victor Robert 375. So anybody want to figure out how to record on this? It's not letting me pause. When I hit stop, I get nothing. Yeah. Shows it's a DVD-R. Okay, so at least we got into disk finalize. Let me eject the tape first. All right. Disk will be finalized. Do you want to continue? Yes. Now that should take like 15 minutes. So I am going to switch over and try some of the next methods that I wanted to test while this is going. And this is why I'm boring all of you with all of this. All right. So, um, wind. Gaming nostalgist. Yeah, I got one of those here. I'm hoping to be able to show that before the end of the stream, but I want to get rid of. I want to get all of this first, so that we know. So that we know if any of these methods hold up or not. All right, so now I'm going to go in and grab VDub here. Here's the issue we had last time, right? So I go in and I go to capture. We select the device. Then video. With filter. Video capture pin. This is what I was. This is what I was having trouble with last time. And Simon, who ended up helping with or who ended up doing the Bravicon software, said that you could just select interlaced video here, but it has to be a card that supports it. That's the important thing. It's not just about. Uh, I guess I could try another version of Virtual Dub here. That wouldn't be the worst thing. All right, let's see if we get anything different. Capture. Device is correct. Capture. Yeah, so this is the thing that also really drives me crazy. If anybody out there is listening to this right now that has a better answer, this is not what Simon was seeing. And he's in Australia, he's sleeping up for this stuff. That's interesting. So if that's the case, let's also try data path right here. And this says capture pin. There is nothing for interlacing or deinterlacing. Okay. Well, we could try one more thing. And there's plenty of other stuff to try here as well. So let me message a friend for a moment here. Let's all right. Pulling a phone a friend here. So climb back and switch something around. See if I could do that without knocking a plug out or something. All right, so I'm unplugging the tank from the data path card and plugging it into an Epiphan DVI to USB. And this should, without a doubt, be able to do what we need to do. The data path should too, by the way. The problem I'm having and always have had is VDub. And whenever I ask people, they're like, what are you talking about? There's no problem. So let's switch it to, oh, is it not here? I had the drivers installed. Geez, that's a great question. And the answer is yes. And it's still finicky at best. So, unfortunately, though, let me see if I can install this without crashing the entire computer. I think anybody that's watched these streams knows the answer is probably no. But I just want to at least give this a try for a second. Yeah, let me look at the drivers for capture. All right, if this stream crashes, everybody, I'll be able to just reconnect to it. So it actually shouldn't be too much of a big deal if I do. Okay, hopefully we're still up. Fingers crossed. So we could see the Epiphan capture tool says 720 by 480 at 59.9. That's definitely a thing that's possible here. We could use this software to do it, but I want to see in Virtual Dub first because that's where I was really trying to use this. I don't want to tell everybody go buy one weird old card that may or may not work. It really should be easy to do this no matter what. We would have to. All right. We have DVI to USB 3.0, video capture pin. 994 RGB. Yeah, this actually looks like it definitely looks different. Let's see, I guess. Let me wrong button and I'm on the wrong thing here. So was this done recording? No signal here. All right, let me eject this just to see if this is working and Lou, are we getting ejected? Yes, no. Hey, what's up, Ed? Okay, I guess I couldn't have the menus open. Let me play it and see if it plays as a DVD. It is showing as a DVD with a video TS folder. Open up Media Player Classic Home Cinema.
Created a whole new automotive category.
Okay.
Brought the American Roadster back up to speed.
Game cartridge, Sports Illustrated Championship Football and Baseball from Malibu Games, also available on Game Boy.
So every time I hit record, it did actually record.
We created a whole new automotive category.
So props to the Samsung.
Brought the American Roadster back up to speed.
First, this would have been way easier, but this was
and reshaped the four-door sedan.
super easy. So okay, that was cool. I'm gonna rip this to my hard drive as an MKV. Just failed to open disk. Wonderful. Maybe this isn't as cool as I thought then. Give me a second here. All right, so there is a VOB file at least.
$5,200.
We created a whole new automotive category.
And let me check media info on it. Cool. So says okay. That's cool. So the Samsung player, so far ease of use and quality. The quality is definitely not garbage, no doubt. And as soon as I just realized what to do, go and hit to DVD, watch it say record, and when you're done, hit stop, and then after that, go into the DVD menu and hit finalize. Not the because there's two menus here. So you see how this is select view, DVD, or VCR. Thank you, shitty autofocus. Come on, nothing. Well, I'm sorry. There's two buttons on the top that says view DVD or VCR. You got to switch it to DVD view and finalize that. Song. Okay. Now, if I could figure out how to record properly direct in 480i, we could do that from this player, which is S-Video out, into the data path card, as well as into the RetroTink 5X, into an HDMI-based capture card. And just for anybody who wasn't following the last time, I don't blame you. It was a very long and boring stream. The reason that you would want to do that, the reason you would want to have the Tink 5X in the mix and go to 480i is two reasons. One, archival footage, so you just keep it all in its original 480i and process it after. So why do you need the Tink then? The time-based correction, and the comb filter are both really, really good. I think the 4K is going to be better, but now we're splitting hairs for 480i VCRs. I don't really know if that's going to make a difference, especially if you're trying the goal of capturing in the native of 480i. Now, if of course you're just looking to get some footage, there's a million ways to do this. You could get one of those cheap composite to HDMI adapters and record in 720, and it'll be totally fine. You could use the Tink 5X and record to 720 or 1080, and that will also be completely fine. This is for the next level. This is for, I don't need to obsess. I just want something easy, but really good as well. So that Samsung, we'll see in a bit, but that Samsung might fall under that category. And then, of course, you have the Doomsday Project, which I'll work on, hopefully with this same stream. Oh, sorry, everybody. I didn't realize the audio came out like that. Oof. Oh, audio output capture is still enabled. Oops. My apologies. Okay, so now let's just try the data path card directly. And then we could do, and I'll skip the HDMI into the data path just because if we could do it there, we could do it elsewhere. And I'll use the Epiphan software to record in 480i. The fact that the data path would work like that, that just means it's definitely going to work. I want to try the analog output now. So the Gaming Nostalgist has a Samsung VR330. Well, I really liked the one I just used. The only complaint I had is that I didn't read the manual before using. Hey, what's up, Joel? Yeah, it'd be kind of funny. I almost did that for the 240 episode. I almost recorded the whole thing in 240p. Then I was like, I think most people would just log on and be like, Bob, there's something wrong with your video today. Okay. So let's try VDub. And let's try the data path right now. And let's cross our fingers. I think what I'm going to need to do, which I want to definitely avoid, and just because I'm trying to make things easier for people, but I think what we would have to do, go into the data path, and then set the recording to, maybe it'll be 480i, I don't know. Could try to set it to 60, see what happens. No, the Gaming Nostalgist. The Samsung has composite out as well as HDMI out. So what I'm just not understanding right now, and this is my fault. This isn't the software or the hardware or anything like that. I don't really capture an interlaced video ever. And I think this is what's going to really trip up a lot of people, especially people who are familiar with video game capture. Because if you don't know anything about capture, you just follow some instructions and you're done. But if you're used to capturing video game footage, this might not make any sense. So, what I think we might have to do when capturing direct through the data path is set it to 60 frames per second, even though it's essentially only going to be 29.9, and then fix it in post, which I don't want to add another step. This is supposed to be record, leave on your hard drive, and don't mess with it at all, period. Um, but I guess worst case scenario, trying to extrapolate a 29.94 footage from a 60 frame per second video is easier than the other. So I guess I'll do it that way. Capture file to desktop. Um, and for compression, you know what? I mean, we absolutely don't need to capture VHS uncompressed colors because it itself has compressed colors. But let's just check out codecs and stuff. Oh, you know what? This is using a different VDub. Hold on a second. You fire up the other one that I was using that actually has all of the codecs installed. My bad. All right. Guy, device, compression. Here we go. So X264. Recheck the capture pin. YUV2 should be fine for VHS. And if I'm wrong on this, please somebody jump in and correct me. Capusan, you know what? You're probably right. 59.94 for that. But I don't think raising the color space on something that's native compressed colors is going to make a difference. I could be wrong, so please let me know if you think so. That X264. Gaming nostalgist. So you're 100% right. And that's also why I want to check out these other methods because, like, I just was watching The Godfather on Betamax. By far the best cut of The Godfather I've ever seen. The made for TV from the 70s one. So it's definitely a step up. And I want to just keep this version no matter what. I guess we could try Lagarith. Why not? Used it for video games. If I screw this up, I screw it up. So we fast forward and we'll go to, it's right past the Super Nintendo commercial. So if you're curious, this VCR does not have a time-based corrector built in. There is some weird curl going around on top right now. So I don't know if there's time-based correction in the data path card. I should that. Damn. Pause. Okay. Hey, the real Phoenix. How you doing? Okay. So it definitely doesn't look right. Wait a minute. Might be equally as shaky. No, about the same. About. I want to try to see if I could find the file from last time. Hold on, I should have done this before so y'all could see the difference here. Okay. So the DVD recorder and the RetroTink 5X actually ended up looking best out of this one. You could see some interlacing weaving lines from the motion adaptive deinterlacing. The DVDO's deinterlacing was definitely smoother but not sharper, which I guess it doesn't really matter. That's all a matter of preference. But you can see the difference between that and these. So let me try adding this one here. So here is work. Of course, the Samsung. All right, I think I'm back. Am I back? I should be back. Okay. All right, let's close this out then. Yeah, so what happened was I added a media file and it crashed OBS. But that's also why I did it this way. So shout out once again to the stream professor for saving our butts. Okay. So I guess I could just do it this way then. Let me go back to. So look at the top of the minivan. I know this is hard on stream and everything, but that's what I'm seeing on the other one. Yeah, so this came out better than direct through the data path, but once again, that could very well be my VDub settings. So I shouldn't just say better or worse. Um, uh, phone a friend again here. Let me get this plugged in to the Tink with an S video cable and see what we could do there. And I might try the data path one more time. I might try to switch that setting as well, because remember we had it at 5994. Maybe just setting it back to the original would work, and maybe VDub's just understanding the difference and doing it for us. All right, so I guess the next thing I should do is go back in, and we'll try the same thing, but with here, let's delete this. Here. So capturing already heavily compressed footage, because VHS is a very compressed format, capturing it uncompressed is extreme. It won't make that much of a difference. And if you're going to go down that road, doing the Doomsday Duplicator would definitely be a much bigger step up here. Oop, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go back and do this one more time again and let me restart the VDub just because. Yeah. Anybody that's dealt with this crap before knows. When in doubt, reboot. So, all right, video capture pin 2994 YUV 20 impressions Lagarath. Because there's no conversion, it just converts in the format. Data path 4, so we're going to make this one data path 24. Okay. Now, because it's popping off after. $29,976. You're right, in fact. But this is a short enough commercial, so we could just test and see how this looks and go from there. But that would actually also be a good test because we could see how it affects the same thing that I was just saying, the little thing on the top. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's better. That's definitely better. That was probably just the setting. Let's media info here. 29970 was what the what we had for 940, so it would be 970, right? Well, thanks for swinging by, Gaming Nostalgist. I appreciate it. Matt, you're correct, but having a time-based correction built in is what would really, really, really help that big time. Okay, so let me rewind it and do it one more time. I think we have I think that was the issue. So I'm still going to use the Epiphan to record the Tink, just to see what it records at, and then we could always change it around from there. Good point, Ashura. Good point. Yeah, Liam. So that's kind of that's a good point. I mean, any of the VCRs with time-based correction built in is are going to be expensive. External time-based correctors are stupid expensive, which is why I think the Tink 5X is a better buy anyway because it's cheaper than most of those. All right, let's take a look again. Yeah. Okay. So the data path one is good, but it might not actually have time-based correction built in. So I think while the comb filter is very good, now I want to just check out the Tink because the Tink has time-based correction and a comb filter built in. So go direct into here. And after this, we're gonna have one more DVD recorder, and then the Doomsday Duplicator. Which, let me phone a friend again for that. Oh, capturing my microphone for these tests? Probably. To be honest with you, I don't even have audio plugged into any of the recorders. This is only a video test because unless I was using one of the DVD recorders, what I would actually be doing is going through the Motu M4. And if audio is a super big deal, you would actually even want to do this in Linux or Mac, not Windows. So I'm just not even. But we also, thanks to MD4A, have quite a bit of knowledge on audio capture. So that's kind of the least of my worries for now. Capture. So here's that Epiphan window. Your device. Oh, wait. I can use logarithm. Not. Um. I mean, what the hell? Full frames uncompressed, right? We're not very long. Funny because it doesn't give me a place to set the capture. Find out, right? Good. Okay. Sure. Is the Doomsday VHS noisy because of the hardware or just because of the decoding process? Because that's definitely two completely different things. Oh, we might have somebody here to help as well. So okay, so where are we at now? Play. Oh, I have not set this to S video input. Uh, Weird. I think the Epiphan might be freaking out. We would have to go back to the would have to go back to the data path then, if that's the case. It'd be kind of funny if I couldn't even do this with the Epiphan. Yeah, it's freaking out. So I'm just gonna pause the tape and switch the HDMI cable from the Epiphan to the data path again. And I'm not even gonna bother with the Live Gamer 4K because we already learned last time that that just deinterlaces it. So I just dropped my tank. Wait. That Epiphan capture card, it was so promising and so close to awesome. And they swapped, the company stopped making them like that, and they made ones in the same case with a different label that sucked. So you can't even get them that much anymore. They absolutely had their purpose, though. All right, so I guess we're just going back to VDub then. device. Yeah, that's working. Pause. Hi. Rewind this a bit. Then all the other settings should match. Oh no, this says 60. Wait, stop, stop, stop. Did I mess something up with the tank here? Well, when in doubt, reboot. Take my own advice here. Starting the tank. That's weird that it looks like that. Let me restart this too. There we go. Okay. I don't know what the hell that was all about. So put video. It's wiggly because that's how it is when it's paused. That's not common. Advanced resolution. Yes. Into the interlacer and say pass through. Output 480i. Okay. Out of here. Funny that it still says 60, but I'm going to do 2997. And this is the only thing I'm totally okay with in post is changing that to 720. But, well, you know what? Let's see what happens if we do it here. Or, no, I guess we can't. Does it cut off yet? No. There we go. That's fine. Okay. And compression should still be lossless Lagarith. Okay. Play. I actually want to do it twice through the tank. We'll do it once like this, direct 480i. I'm also kind of curious to see how it's going to react in 480p. Oh, come on. Did that. I was reading the chat and skipped the part. What an idiot. Is the card passing through the macrovision protection? Probably not. Cards got way smarter as time went on to be able to tell the difference. But whoever's asking this is probably an old person like me, because back in the early 2000s, if you had a tape with a little bit of noise on it, it could actually be viewed by the card as macrovision. Wouldn't be able to do it. Or if you did, there'd be a crazy amount of horizontal lines going across the middle. All right. And let's take a look at this. That also looks pretty good. Um, the one thing is that sync curl up at the top. That should have been fixed by time-based correction. I'm on the latest firmware. Is this only in the still one of the betas? That filter is definitely pretty high quality, but yeah, what the hell? I'll have to ask Mike about that. For sure, which card are you using? Um, I'm gonna set pass through to off, and I'm also gonna go back and set it to 480p. So analog video channel, it's a combination. Mike didn't reinvent something that a company like Analog Devices or TI or somebody did. However, once that information is passed through, that's when it hits the FPGA to do interpretation of that information. So it's not just something like putting an ADC on there and digitizing it. I kind of went above and beyond with that stuff, um, which I hope my response didn't come out nasty. I was just a direct answer. Winter Hell, you should never plug a old console directly into a flat panel. You're going to get first, it's going to be treated like 480i. You're going to probably have 10 to 20 frames of lag, unless it's a decent one, and then you might only have 7 frames of lag. Yeah, it's I've done so many testing on this, and it's never good. All right, let's take a look at this. And then I'm going to do one more video recorder or DVD recorder, and then I'm going to switch over to um, the Doomsday Project. So this looks great. This looks absolutely great. Some things that it looks better than the original. Other small little parts of it not quite. So for your average person that wants to record, I would say go through a tank, set it to 480p, and use any capture card whatsoever. The only thing that's kind of driving me crazy right now is why we're getting the sync curl on the top when we shouldn't have because of the TBC. I want to message Mike right now. message Mike. So what I'm actually going to do is grab the other recorder I got. This is not mine. This is my buddy Lance's. I believe he's probably selling it. So if this turns out to be badass, might be interested in it. The other Panasonic DVD recorder I had was really, really good, but with the same limitations that we were talking about before. What if you want to record more than can fit on a DVD? You know, like the Godfather videos I've been watching, or home videos, or whatever else. Like, I like standalone recorders, and I'm still recommending them for people who want ease of use. You know, hitting play, record, stop, and finalize is about as easy as it gets. But what happens when it dies, right? Whereas if your VCR dies, you just buy another VCR, and the tank's probably going to outlast it. So, all right, I'm going to line in S video. This looks strangely like the Panasonic, like the back of it. I'm wondering if this, Sony doesn't tend to do this, but I'm almost wondering if this is the same thing. Digital out. So we're going to use the Tink to preview what's going on via the component video output of the Sony recorder here. Oh, Mike's responding now too. Mike said it should have TBC as one of the sync options. Why did I miss that? By the way, do you just love how you could just hit YPBPR on these new remotes and it goes right to it? Yeah. What was the stream with Bob like today? Well, he spent most of the time in the chat talking to people smarter than him, trying to figure out how to do the crap that he's doing. Not seeing the TV as an option. I'm crazy. Well, power the sucker on while I'm waiting for Mike and go from there. Hey, what's up, Krista? So we are going to be bothering Krista fairly soon to help us figure out how the hell to work the Doomsday Duplicator. Oh, this is not ejecting. We might not be doing this one either. We might be going straight to Doomsday. All right, let me try prying it open. What's up, Belmont? Okay, not bad. Got batteries in here. Nope, I gotta steal them out of something else. Second. So I did not have the time-based correction turned on. Well, that explains a lot. So that's it. What a moron. We're gonna try that again before we're gonna try that again after this one, because Um, I want to the finalizing is going to take a while. Thank you again, Mike Chi, for saving us here. All right. Sure, it opened while I had my back turned? No way. Um, that's definitely some me luck right there. Yeah, I have a ton of stuff like that. I have a laser disc player and something else where you have to kind of, put something thin in there and massage the door open, but it also works flawlessly otherwise. So I just kind of figured this is how some of these things age. Oh, let me switch over so you all can see what I'm doing. All right. Can't believe I forgot where the time-based correction setting was. What an idiot. Right. All right. Formatting complete. Now, should have an input button here somewhere. Nope. I am not getting any video at all through this. Okay. It's oh, audio. Am I plugged into the? I just wanted to double check I was actually plugged into the S video in and not the out. Which, me, it's plausible, but um Phantom Havoc, I wonder if one of those exceedingly rare digital VHS players with HDMI out would be the end all for capturing standardized tapes. No, because you're still going to have to output, you're still going to have to deinterlace it. So that's kind of one of the things that you always have to worry about then is if you're deinterlacing something, what about what's coming next? So right now in 2023, we probably have decent deinterlacing, but what if the AI stuff comes out and everything else, and next thing you know, we get some really awesome deinterlacing. So we shall see, I guess. That's why I like to keep it in the original 480i, which is another reason Doomsday is such an important project, which we'll get to if I figure out why the hell I'm not getting any signal out of this. So I'm also just connecting the composite video out just to see if we can get something. I haven't tested Lance's player at all, so I was just kind of hoping to see what it was like, but not a good sign. Okay. So I'm getting a video signal now. I'll turn this back over in 1 second. Troy, are you sure? And I'm not being a dick. I'm just very curious because so many of these HDMI outputting VHS players basically had one of those crappy composite, well, crappy for video games, good for this, but one of those composite to HDMI outputs on them and built into it. So that's what you were getting was essentially just scalar, and almost none of the ones I've seen actually did output true 480i. Okay, so am I in composite? Yeah. So this is line 2. This is the S-video cable now, and this is the S-video that has worked. Oh, maybe there's... No, wait, that wouldn't make it. I was going to say maybe there's no time-based correction on this, but if that were the case, why would it work in composite video mode? We're definitely still getting an S-video signal out of this thing. And then one more input select, and that's DV. Yeah, because there's only 2. Well, you know what? We're here. Let's just do composite video and go from there. I'm just going to hit record because I don't want to... Oh, Troy, okay, they're not, it's not a great output. It's only acceptable. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So analog video channel, yeah, you touched upon something that annoys the ever-living crap out of me. A lot of these combo players are exactly like you just said. They're 2 separate devices inside one shell with 2 separate outputs. It drives me crazy. And some of them, if you're lucky, with quotes around the word lucky here, you get the same composite and RF output at least for both. However, the DVD recorders, DVD VCR recorders are the ones that I actually think, as long as you get one that doesn't suck, do a decent job. And the one that I have here, the Samsung, seemed great. The Sanyo one was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the rest. But it definitely, I would not call it bad. Oh, that's great. That's the JVC player. We might be wearing down the section a little bit on the tape, so I'll take that into account when I do my my analysis of all of this stuff. And I think I'm going to do one final one, even if we get through the word stop writing. Yeah, even if we end up getting through the Doomsday stuff today, I think there's going to be one more follow-up to just take the very best and record another brand new section of another tape just to get it ready. All right. So it says, writing, please wait. Now, I'm going to assume here, maybe falsely so, that it's going to take a while for it to write. Actually, let me see. Let me go. Is there a finalize menu here? Let's see a finalize here. So I don't think there's any chance that would have finalized that quickly. Yeah, it's not letting me eject, so I'm assuming. Wait, here we go. Here we go. Finalization is needed. I just have to hit record. Okay. All right. Oh. Have I ever tried the light on combo, which has RGB out? Oh, that looks very cool though. All right, so you see it says finalizing, please wait. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to switch back over to the Tink in S-Video and try to do that again with the correct time-based correction turned on. What a moron. My bad. And then after that, then we go to Doomsday. And now I'm really excited because I'm really curious to see. And Krista, Krista's going to help me. Krista's the one that did the mod for me because I'm getting lazy in my old age. However, I I'm gonna do the same scene. So while it does take a while to work, we're not going to be spending hours and hours on this thing. I'd like to be done in an hour total anyway, but we'll see. All right, 480i output. Um, the interlacer pass through, yes. Even though that's for downscaling, I like to set that to pass through because I'll double check with Mike real quick. If I'm doing this again, I might as well just check. Yep. ITV. Oh, wait. You know what would help? If I set the correct input. We are still getting the curl up on the top. All right, let's go back. Go back quite a bit so we have some buffer here. Analog video channel. There are ready-to-use Windows builds of the decoder software now. If I don't have to open up a command prompt, I am all in. I'm going to once again restart Virtual Dub. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to well, I'm going to try one more time just to see if that was the issue, but I just realized if the sync curl is still there, then it's not time-based correction. It's just baked into the tape a little bit. All right, so VDub was screwed up, but I could stop right here. All right, I will. So I guess we're not going to redo it because the Tink was doing absolutely fine. There were no dropouts. It was just the sync curl, which is probably going to be in a 90% of VHS tapes that you find anyway. So let me double check that the other one worked, and then check out that DVD, and then we are out. So I could check this one. Let's check on the DVD player because I have a feeling it's going to be 3 or 4 more minutes before that's done. This is finalizing. All right. Prompt. Okay, interesting. Well, Krista sent me a list of stuff that I'm going to need for this, so I will get to all of that pretty quickly. The only thing that I don't quite get, so I got one of the Krista had me pick up one of these, and I'm not really sure how to work it. I think this is just... I hope I have everything I need for this. Let me take apart the VHS player and go from there for now. So, Adam, wouldn't a SVHS deck hooked up via S-Video to a Tink 5X using its TBC give you pretty much perfect output to capture? Yeah, but there's two problems with that. First, if you want to capture 480p, so you want the Tink to do the deinterlacing, that's a great option. And you don't have to worry about anything else. You can even get one of those $18 can't link capture cards, and you'll probably have a perfectly good experience. But what if you're looking for archival quality 480i footage? So the Tink is still a great option, as we just showed, but then you're going to have to deal with stuff like finding an HDMI capture card that actually accepts 480i and captures in 480i. Because the Live Gamer 4K that we used before, it definitely captured in, or it accepted 480i but converted it to 480p. But I also wanted to see, like, what about old capture cards with, with good comb filters built in and all that stuff. And what makes me nervous about those is they always have one or two quirks to it, always. And on top of that, not only is it just a bit quirky, but oops, sorry, I'm just trying to get this out. But what about operating system versions? How do you know it's going to still work at all at some point in the future? So that's kind of, oh, perfect. It ejected by itself. I don't even look that up. All right, cool. So that's kind of the other thing was using an S-Video out from a VHS player into a Tink or into a DVD recorder, because then you just rip the DVD to your hard drive, could possibly be the easiest. All right, let's put this in and see. Alan, thank you so much for the super chat. Much, much appreciated. Are there any porno movies on VHS tape to stream? Funny enough that I got a Betamax player that I'm going to soon be selling. That when it came with it, it had an unmarked tape. And I hit play, and my friend's like, I bet you it's a porn. And it was a porn. Cracked me up. All right. So copying over now. Now this is composite video, so we got to keep that into account. Not record the end, or third one's. Yeah, the last one did this too. When I copied the VOB file over, it said we were at the end of the file, but it wasn't. It's always kind of funny. Troy says, dubbing VH... Oh, hold on, I want to watch this part real quick. It came out surprisingly good. So Troy said, dubbing VHS to DVD and ripping the MPEG-2 is the most balanced way to digit. In all of the testing I've done in the last stream, in this stream, I 100% agree with you. If you're just, especially if you're talking to a noob, and when I say that, I mean that with love, right? You got a family member that's like, I got, 30 tapes. You could do that for me, right, Bob? That's easy. You could do it. It's like, no, here, how about I teach you how to do it? And handing somebody a DVD recorder, or even that, a good combo unit, not a bad one, but a good one, and you basically hit record, you hit play, and you're done. Yeah, that's absolutely the best way to do it. If you're looking for ease of use, and as long as you have a decent quality DVD recorder, you're good to go. That's all you would need. The only actual problem would be making sure your DVD recorder still works. Then you're still going to have to rip the DVDs afterwards, which for us, that's totally fine. Us nerds do that daily. But what about, your family members dealing with that? So those are the only things to keep into account when you're thinking of this stuff. But so I'm kind of rambling today, more so than usual. But the end goal for this, I want three solutions. I want easiest, medium, and best. And my guess, total guess, is that easiest is going to be DVD recorder, whether it's a combo unit or two separate units, doesn't really matter. They're both fairly easy. Plug one into the other, you're done. I think the mid-grade one is going to be through the Tink 5X and eventually 4K into your computer. I think you're going to probably get a tiny bit better quality because you have a tiny bit more control over the codecs and compression, and you could do things like record them for longer periods of time. And I think the best is going to be the Doomsday, which is why I'm onto that right now. I'm just moving this stuff right over. I think for me personally, I'm gonna keep that Samsung unit or give it to my in-laws or something because they had a bunch more tapes they wanted me to convert over. And then I'm probably gonna keep one of the DVD recorders. I believe that Panasonic one has time-based correction built in. It's actually, if anybody wants to look up model numbers, Panasonic DMR-ES10 and the Sony RDR GX330. They look very similar, not the same or anything, but they look similar. And I think they might both have some kind of time-based correction built in, but I could be 100% wrong on that. All right, Samsung, let's get this. And I'm about to grab the Doomsday stuff. So, we have the player, which Krista modded for me and added these outputs. I will zoom into those in a second. We have the Doomsday box. I have a USB cable, and then I have one of these with a very small antenna looking thing on the back. I'm not really sure what to do here. All right, so I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Like here. Hey, Krista. Yep, I got plenty of BNC to BNC, and I also have adapters. So I could even just use shielded composite video. While the audio on here is good, the composite video shielding is excellent on these. So I could use that with a converter. I can go into there. I just wasn't sure what this was for. You remember what that is? Did I buy the wrong one? Did you send me a link and I bought the wrong one like a moron? That's always possible. So the one thing I want to do real quick again, before I jump onto that, this is only going to take a second, but one of the things, I'll show you all, one of the things that did bug me about once you put it to VOB is changing that file. Let me, video compression, just do I'll just do Lagarith again. Let me just convert this. Because once you rip it to DVD, it does get a little funky, as you all just saw. Converted. And let's see if I get the full thing. Because when I played that file, it didn't show you the last couple of things on there. So let's see what this is now. So when he converted, 48 seconds, ends here. But when I go to the Sony original, the VOB file, still ends at 48 seconds. However, oh, what the hell? I did that a minute ago. Yeah, so there's obviously issues here. So what is the best way to convert from DVD? Make MKV wouldn't read when I just tried it. So that is the one downside of once you've ripped to DVD. Okay, Krista, just let me know that that's a this little thingy right here is for audio, but we're just doing video at the moment. So all I need to do is grab some BNC connectors, and we should be able to move on from there. Ah, and I got the cable for next time. Okay. So, Krista, would you think that this does all of the audio then? Uh, and how would I even do that? So obviously it's USB based, but okay, I think I get it. Let me set this to manual focus so I could show you all both where Krista mounted it and what we were just talking about. So, VHS would go to the Doomsday Duplicator, and Hi-Fi would go into that thing, which would then get the then get the audio through that. So that's pretty cool. All right. Did I get that right, Krista? Let me grab my BNC connectors. Let me just buy this now. I might do another follow-up stream on Friday as well, just showing off the results and trying one last capture for all of them. Okay, I was just able to add that to my other one, so that cable should arrive on Thursday. Cool, cool. Thank you, Krista. And I guess I got it right. Okay, awesome. We Don't Die. If you want to know some pretty cool info about the Doomsday Duplicator project, I would take a look at the interview we did. This is, for once, actually not shameless self-promotion. I just really think that it's an exciting project that could lead to archiving things that, you know, could very easily be forgotten to time if they weren't. So, all right. Let me clear this out of the way so I stop tripping over all these. And yeah, I already have a USB 3 cable plugged in, so I'm going to use that one. And then I just need to have RF into this. And then the VHS out of that. Once again, I'm using the really shielded composite cable to do this. A BNC cable would be the same as long as it's shielded, not unshielded. And of course, I have to plug in my VCR. All right. What model VCR? Yeah, Krista already got me. Panasonic PV V4521. And let me get the download that I needed. Okay. Actually, let me really quick before I start losing things. All right. I have a. I need to be OCD about where I store my files, or else I just start losing stuff, and it really pisses me off when I do. So I just want to make sure I have all these files right where they need to be. All right, display capture. Here's the software deployment. I'm only leaving this icon here to remember to uninstall it. That Epiphan capture card was great, but I think this is going to be one of the things I end up selling because it's just it does so many cool things, and it even accepts 480i. It just would be a pain. All right, oh, this typical thing. It'd be really mean if Chris had just had a script that deletes my whole hard drive. Luckily, I have good backups. Yeah, so Troy and Krista, when you have the hi-fi audio, that's not going to get every audio track, right? Just some of the higher ones that are encoded, or will that also get standard? I think I have Cordis Lite installed, but you know what? Let's just see what happens. Once again, if the stream crashes, I will reboot the computer and reconnect again. Right. So what I would be doing, if this wasn't about video quality, if this was an overall capture thing, what I would be doing right now is running the output, the audio output of the VCR to my Motu M4 recorder, which is really high quality. And I would probably use a second capture card. I would probably use just a junky composite capture, and then I could sync it up after the fact. That way I could use video in and out points to sync it up and go from there. A lot of license terms to accept. Everybody ever see that South Park episode with that? Oh, I just want the executable and the driver install. Okay. Oh, work. So, oop, wrong one. A duplicator. All right. Nope. There's capture applications. Okay. Drivers. Try this one. Yeah, all right, that's got to be it then. So, okay. Yeah, so this is this is the type of stuff that I'm always borderline about, right? Because there's absolutely no chance somebody's going to just figure this stuff out. I'm sure there's a README here. Use WinUSB. That's all it says. Driver was installed successfully. Now it shows under USB devices. So at this point, all I would have to do is hit play and record, right? And I know I should be doing this with another video source connected just to see, but I mean, I guess we could just do that through the tank. That wouldn't be hard at all. But we already know where the tape's at. So I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit capture, and we're going to capture for about 1 full minute and go from there. Now, obviously, you should be having some other kind of output working. The composite video output of this should just work like every other VCR. So I could have a CRT next to it, a crappy flat panel, a capture card, whatever, just to see what's on screen. However, we already know. I have the tape queued up. Maybe I'll do 2 minutes just for posterity, but we're good for now. Oh, I should have set where it's saved first. Well, hopefully it's some kind of default, like right in this folder or something like that. Yeah, capturing uncompressed, which 2 minutes of video, there's not a drive on my computer that would fill up, especially 2 minutes of 480i video. But yeah, you're right. I should have had it set. Another 30 seconds just for fun. Bowl of spiders. Yep, I already did 4 of them. 4 of those. All right, we should be good now. Stop on the player as well. Well, let's see where it said. See user's user. Yeah, 5 GB. Okay. At the very least, it did record on the C drive, which is by far my fastest drive, so that's fine. I'm gonna change those preferences. Future use to the render drive, which is exactly what I bought that second drive for. Cool. Yeah, so all the stuff I started to set up, this is all I needed to record, apparently. That's cool. And like we were saying before, you're going to want to do video as well. So recording another output with the Tink or something would probably be a good idea. But I'm digging this. All right, so now we got to figure out what to do next. Order. Krista already did all of this for me, so my lazy ass doesn't need to do any of it. Okay, Windows application. And that's it at the end of the documentation. It only brings me up to here. So, yeah, thank you again for all that, Krista. That makes it way easier. So, software to install, I didn't need to do. That's the firmware flashing the driver of the FPGA board. So I didn't need any of this. That's the DEO Nano firmware. Um, I don't know. I don't think we needed that. So we would need to download the decode software. Uh-oh. All right, I'm gonna drop this down just so you don't see a whole bunch of things flash on the screen at all the same time. Uh, I'll Google it, but I gotta figure out VHS decode. Ah, Krista beat me to it. Oh boy, I already have a feeling there's a command prompt in my future. So the RF here, let's throw this up on screen. Go through it together. Sorry for coughing. I ended up going to the doctor, and my doctor's out on maternity leave, and the person filling in was just awful. Absolutely awful. Didn't listen. Tried to give me medicine that I'd already tried, and when I asked, I was like, "Hey, this has worked for me before." They gave me a look like I'm the doctor. Get out of here. So it's just yeah, it's terrible. So I didn't. I'm just doing it on my own. I'm just drinking lots of fluids and trying to cough it through. So would I have to just do this because that might be what we already downloaded, right? Oh no, VHS decode tools. Okay, pre-release. So all of these I need. Whack attack. Yeah, it's unfortunately, right? The It's so hard to find doctors these days, partly because people are moving out of the cities to the burbs, but also because insurance companies are paying doctors a hell of a lot less. So it's just one of these things where you're stuck with the doctors that were wouldn't work well with other people. So they were bouncing around. Now they'll take anybody. So it's a douche thing to say, but tell me if I'm wrong. All right, so we got decode. And we got the tools, video export. All right. So decode, I guess this was supposed to be in the same folder or something? Or I have to drop it onto it. No, that's where I need to start using the command prompt, huh? Same thing with that. Okay, I'm kind of stuck. So for future, I don't actually need any of this. I'll clear that out. That's the software that we just ran. I need this. And then that is the capture. So I do need to run command prompt. So there were a couple people in the chat talking about there's a GUI based version, I guess. Yeah, Troy, you should read the VHS Decode wiki multiple times. So this is why, um, I mean this with love. I'm not wagging fingers or anything, but this is why I would always call this project expert only, because there really isn't a reason that you need a GUI or that you need a command prompt. And who knows? Maybe Simon would jump in and help out with this too, because this is kind of silly. But okay. Um, so just to save my hands, I'm going to move this over to just the C drive. Go C temp. Going to open up a command prompt window and and then I'm going to copy and paste what Krista just sent me because I'm lazy. Okay, so I'm also going to rename this to Bob here. Code. Okay. Yeah. LDS. Okay. I don't know what the hell I just hit. Sorry, everybody. Hold on a second. Okay, that seems to be doing it. Hmm. Bob log child. So this is the other thing, which is not a complaint. It's just it is what it is. But this might take as long as the footage took to capture to do this. So 2 minutes of footage might actually take 2 minutes to do this. It's fine. There's also, a cost factor because if you're going to do this yourself, you still need to spend a bit of money, but you should budget quite a bit because this wasn't something that Krista whipped together in a minute and a half. This took a lot of work, a lot of programming, a lot of flashing, and I'm just lazy and had this thing shipped to me all done and ready to go. And after this, if I ever go to do it again, it's going to just like exactly like the DVD recorder. It's only going to take me a second or two. Your non-nerd would not probably be comfortable with this, but that's fine. But if you want somebody to do it the way Krista did, you're going to drop $1,000. A little less than that, but basically budget that. And also, actually no, budget $1,000 because if you don't have any other capture equipment whatsoever, you're going to want to get one of those crappy USB composite to USBs to at least get some video in, just so you could see what you're doing. And also on the audio side, you're probably going to want a decent audio interface. And that Motu M4 is a couple $100. You could get cheaper, but depending on how important this stuff is to you, do you want a minuscule amount of analog hum and interference added to it? So, yeah, Troy, I definitely agree, but I'm always walking that line too because my audience, as we all know, because most of us in here are all nerds. So I always just try to be respectful to the people who are like, hey, I want the best solution. I have some archival quality stuff. What's the best? I always want to make sure I don't talk down to them and be like, well, it's a little difficult to use something called a command line, which means typing words into boxes. Like, I give our nerds the benefit of the doubt. So I just want to make sure I lay it all out in the line. You want to push a couple buttons and hit finalize. Grab yourself, a DVD recorder or a good combo recorder unit. You want to have a little bit more control. Get yourself a Tink 5X and a decent capture card, and or not even a decent, just anything that can do 480p. Which the price of the Tink 5X and the price of a not crappy USB capture card, something that can handle 480i direct or even 480p. Um, that alone is a big investment, but still might be cheaper than buying some of this other stuff over time. Oh, Troy, I'm copying and pasting that right now. I will look that stuff up. I have them on Amazon. That's interesting. $50. So that's not even the one I was thinking of. The one I was thinking of was like $8, but that's pretty cool. So that would, how is the audio on that though? I mean, there's no chance in hell this thing's going to be MD4A approved, but is it actually just a decent audio on there? The go capture. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. 11.99. You know, I shouldn't be spending all this extra money, but you know what I should absolutely do is buy this and that and run them through MD4A and see if I could find a difference in either. Hmm. Well, there we go. More money to spend, I guess. But I would be very curious to see what the real difference is. And I guess I could do a video comparison of this as well. But I just don't. I'm not really sure that this is going to be something that records to 480i. Okay. Comes with its own capture software. Oh boy, I can only imagine that's like. But if it records in direct 480i, maybe. All right. Well, I'm leaving those up. This is still going. Lift that coupon, save 5%. Yeah. Well, if you all wonder why I'm broke, this is why. All this equipment I had to buy to do these tests. I'm reselling the equipment too, but I'm sure it's all going to be at a loss. But I'm really curious to know the answer to this. It would be very funny if that $12 recorder came with software that even records the 480i properly. So analog video channel, if you've used those before, does it have time-based correction built in? And what about really good filters like filtering on VHS um, or on the composite input. Because I'll be honest, if that actually has decent input from either and records direct to 480i, maybe all of this money that I've spent, all this time I spent, was just laughably wasted, and maybe all I would need is just a SVHS player and a $12 adapter or something like that. It does record. All right. Well, you know what? I guess we're gonna have to do one final stream to compare those all together. Hey, John, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, well, you know what then? That super chat just bought us those. So let me or bought us the cheaper one. So I'm gonna do that right now and add to cart. And who knows? Maybe if we get another super chat, it could pay for the IO data one. But and don't forget, people, when you're buying anything off of Amazon, go to RetroRGB.com, click on Support Us, and scroll down to Amazon General, and then check out, because then I get about 1/4 of a penny for every $50 spent. I still do it anyway. I don't care how little it saves me. All right, purchased. So I guess this is going to be one more part. As soon as this is done, we'll take a look at it. We'll call the stream, make sure everything worked okay, and we'll end it. Except on Friday now, I think Friday at about the same time, I'm gonna have to do the same thing with the two USB recorders. And the full analysis. I'll have the analysis prepared. I hope. I don't want you all to sit here and watch me in Premiere, just like you're watching a command prompt with me. But I think I'll do the same thing. I'll fast forward that year in sports to another part, and I will compare the best footage or the best versions of each to the two USB ones, and then we could really decide what is probably the overall best thing to do. It would be beyond funny if the answer to all of this was buy that $11 thing on Amazon and an SVHS player. If I open a program, I could look at the output file as it's decoding. Well, I would love to know how to do that then. Would it be the TBC video export? No, wouldn't do that. LD analyze. Let's take a look. Analyze, open T file. You know, we're in the temp directory. Yeah, that can't be right. I guess that's viewing the original. Odd that it's in black and white. Oh, haha! We have color. Look at that. All right, so we could at least see the original file, and at least we see that I recorded it correctly. That is really noisy, though, huh? Hopefully, the decoding is gonna clean that up. But we waited long enough. Interesting. Holy crap, Mike! Thank you so much. One of the amazing viewers on here just bought that IO data capture cable um, for me. So thank you. That is absolutely killer. I really appreciate that. That is absolutely awesome. now, I, now I get to test all of this, and hopefully I have a couple of devices I could hold on to now. That'll be pretty good. Analog video channel, just to confirm, you said you suggest running the test through the DMR-ES10 DVD recorder. Do you mean by using that as a time-based corrector? Because I also have a VHS player here today as well that does have time-based correction built in. And while it's not the best TBC, it's fine for what we were doing here. Let me open this back up and take another look at that because I think we probably have another 3 or 4 minutes before that goes. So open file, Bob here, chroma, correct aspect ratio, then that's pretty cool for widescreen VHS tapes because those still technically just output 4:3 with more, with all the information in the middle. Ah, you see, you see. All right, I'm fucking Windows. So down here at the bottom, you could see there's like a little blip on the bottom of the screen that corresponds with the dropout. I wonder if I'm going to see that on other spots here. Huh. Okay. 3 frames per second. All right, let's see what we got then. That was the output file then, TBC. So what do I do with what do I do with this one now? Uh, so LDS was the original at 5.3 gigs. TBC was at 3 gigs. So let me just. It was bob.tbc, and I think I should probably have an output. Will it work, Harry? Apparently not. Oh, it might have to have it in the LD Analyze folder. All right, well, let's move all these into the LD Analyze folder and go from there. Yep. Okay. Drop this. That was the solution. Thank you very much. So if it's at 2x, then we should only take 1 minute to get to the end of this one. Thanks, Harry. All of this stuff should have a GUI. And listen, I'm a huge fan of the project, the team behind it, but there's just no excuse for it not to. Okay, so now we're at 1.5 gigabytes. Not actually playing. Interesting. What about VLC? Okay. Whoa, that looks terrible. What did I do wrong? That's interesting. So did I do something wrong in any of the steps that I had taken? Um, I gotta take off in like 15. So I'd love to hang out and figure out what the heck happened, though. Color space is messed up. So I would not. So based on everything that I've discussed with the team, um, with Chad and Simon and everybody that I've annoyed over the years, what I'm gathering for this is that original LDS file is fine. It's absolutely fine. Um, and Krista already ran a test that showed me that it's all working fine before she sent it. So when stuff like this happens, the purpose of having an uncompressed original file like this one is that now I can just go and redo any of the stuff for it. So I get that, and that's why I'm not worried or making jokes about it looks like crap because I totally get it. The point of original RF capture is for archival stuff, not RF video, the RF data that it was on there for anybody who didn't see the interviews. But but what do I do now is kind of the thing. Oh, so I guess there is a VHS decode wiki, but it's a little or a GUI, but it's a little clunky. Um, right. So I have to figure out how to get the file working properly now. So I mean, this is exactly why. I'm sorry, everybody. I wish I wasn't coughing like this. But this is exactly why we keep saying this is for experts only. Because if you have, and once again, I got to preface this. I mean this with love. But if you got your grandma's 90th birthday on VHS that you want to send to everybody, and using it through any of the other methods is going to do that absolutely perfectly, and this is going to be a waste of your time. And I don't mean that. I just mean that as perspective, nothing else. No shade being thrown. But if you have like an archival footage of something that nobody else on the planet has, like the original, the Doomsday laser discs and stuff like that. This is where it always starts to make a giant bit of a difference, because now you're having everything that you need right here to have the original copy. You could go back in the future as new methods are found in order to add to all this stuff. So I totally get it, but I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more not user friendly, but a little bit easier to get something that looked okay on the first try. That's pretty interesting. So Harry, would you be able to? I think we've talked on Discord before. So would you be able to message me anything else you want me to try for this? And also, I'm going to back up this LDS file just to a different folder, because even if I delete everything else by accident, having that LDS file is going to make sure that I could go back to and do this again. Because what I'd really like to do is do that over, and we could start the process here. I got to leave in just about 10, but what I would absolutely like to do is have that LDS file converted to be something that's very good quality, so that when on Friday when I follow up and do the hopefully final of this one and show everybody the differences, then I would be able to use that as well, not just talk about Doomsday, but actually show it. So that would be very cool if we could figure that out as well. I'm also gonna just spend a few moments cleaning up while I wait, because I want to hear from everybody in the chat. If you have any questions, anything you want me to look at, anything you want me to test for Friday, other than those 2 new cards. The only thing I might have to do, which I don't think so, but I might have to do some of the audio testing beforehand, because the way the Motu works, and it's almost impossible to do it right on stream. Or if I did it, I would just be sitting off camera, telling you what I'm seeing on a Mac. So I might just do the audio testing on my own at some point between now and then, and I would let you know, because the USB card should be coming tomorrow or Thursday. So I should be able to let everybody know before the next stream, like, yeah, I did the audio testing, and they're both crap, they're both decent, whatever it might be. So I'll get that for next time, and that way we could work on true video analysis at that point. And heck, if that $11 card doesn't do a garbage job with audio, that, in my opinion, would be a perfectly acceptable solution, even for Doomsday, because you could preview your video with it, but then you could also use it for audio capture. Because it's also perspective, right? You don't need MD4A level stuff for VHS capture, but you don't want it to be garbage. You don't want to be, hearing your grandma's voice for the first time since they passed, and then all you hear is popping and gargling in the background. Like, that's not cool at all. So, get this wrapped up here. All right, so I have my Doomsday kit. Let me check the chat. Got Memories of early MAME. The biggest gains are on lesser common formats and edge cases rather than okay quality VHS tapes. Yeah, yeah. We develop an emulator for those VCR video games from the 80s. Harry, we added 8 megabytes per second deinterlaced web profiles for the normies. That's what I'm talking about. Um, Yeah, I mean, I just got to keep reiterating. I love this project. I'm 100% standing behind it. I have nothing but positivity to say. But when I'm in these live streams, I got to keep the perspective correct. I can't just be like, yes, everybody on the planet who wants one copy of one VHS needs Doomsday. And if I'm going to be honest, I got to at least give some real feedback. And I do think having, even if you have a beginner mode, right, for lack of a better term, even if you have a beginner GUI that says, hey, make sure that your capture was done correctly, and then here's going to be an easy analyze and output, and that's it. Then think about it from a workflow point of view. If you're in a shop or something like that, or now you could have your college kids, you could have your interns come in and do all of the ripping and start the process out for the conversion, and then let your video experts go in and say, okay, well, let's tweak this, let's get that done. You know, even if you're thinking of a professional environment, there's still a bunch of reasons why you would want, you know, Bob proof. All right. Harry's hitting me up direct on chat. I'm almost done putting the stuff away, so we'll be out of here in 2 or 3 minutes. But I want to hang out because if I'm just sitting here putting stuff away anyway, maybe I can answer a question, or maybe there's new questions coming in for the Doomsday folk that would be worth discussing. I'm still wondering why the S video input of Lance's DVD recorder didn't work. That's annoying, but whatever. I didn't break that one. I'll just let Lance know. I am very interested to do the analysis on this, though, and see the different solutions that we tried today and see which was better, worse, and then just kind of go for all of them on Friday as well. Hey, what's up, Lex? The data path ended up being completely fine, but the only real issue is, um, can anybody find one at the moment? And then if you do, does it have time-based correction? Does it have the best comb filter? So it's one of those things that it worked great, but I'm trying to find things that people could do now today that'll be the easiest. And the funny thing is, they found a $12 and a $50 USB-based composite and S-video capture card that supposedly has software that can go directly to 480i. So that I ordered those, and that's what's going to be the follow-up stream. It would be beyond hilarious to me if we can get good quality out of one of those. I did try one of those that back for 2005. I called it good quality, but it does not hold up against any of the other solutions from today. So hopefully the ones that we have en route will be a little bit better. Yay, portable table. All right, well, I guess that's absolutely everything. So thank you all so much for joining. I really, really appreciate everything. And yeah, this is cool. I can't wait to follow up on Friday and see. And I'm just really curious how it's all going to come about. But yeah, awesome. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Krista, again for helping me out and commissioning this job for me, so I didn't have to dick around with all the other stuff. And Harry, I will follow up with you in a couple of moments, and also Lex, thanks again. I really appreciate your help, and it was really cool to get an insight on that. I think the major thing though for direct capture is software that could very easily do it to 480i. But anyway, we'll see you all soon.